All right, y'all, welcome back. Now, you've heard me talk on this channel time and time and time again. I'm building a house, I'm building a house, I'm building a house. I'm moving to small rural America. But today's about what type of housing do I like? Do I like two-story? Do I like rustic? Do I like, open concept? Do I like a closed concept? Do I want something modern? Wood, concrete, brutalism. There's so many things out there. So today I'm going to take you through kind of what I've sent to an architect and some ideas and things I've curated from Pinterest boards. So the first thing you got to think about is where are you putting the land? I'm not really up in the mountains or anything. I'm got a front view of a hayfield. You have rolling terraces from the irrigation of the past farming life. I mean, you can see right here, you have a couple trees, but other than that, it's just wide open. View facing is a hayfield. In the back, you have a view of a couple rolling terraces and a view of a pond. For me personally, I kind of feel like the two-story would be too much. It'd be too tall, kind of stand out a little bit. You can put the house back up here on the woods a little bit, which would help. But for me personally, I think the one story will just blend into nature better. Maybe some high ceilings, definitely. But I think a one story is what I'm going to want to do. It kind of blend in with that rolling effect and without being too much and just stick out too much. Like I said, I want something that's going to blend in with nature, not stick out. So that being said, how's the exterior going to look? What's it going to look like when you're driving up to it and you see it in the land? For me personally, I grew up in a log home. It's very dark. I call it the napping house. It's one of the best homes for taking a nap. Why? Because it's super dark. I mean, super dark. There's not a lot of windows, not a lot of light, a little bit of cavish, and man, it is amazing for taking naps. But don't like feeling like I have to take a nap 24/7. I need the energy from the sunlight. I'm somebody where my mood and my energy level is really affected by the sun and the light. So if it's out, I want it in my home. And even on days where we're not getting a lot of sun, I want to get as much as possible. So let's kind of go through these pictures. We'll go through them a little one by one. So I think with this picture, what I really enjoyed about it was the craftsmanship of the wood. I like the wood that's going all different angles. I enjoyed the different levels. Even though it is a one story, you feel like you're moving up levels combined with the glass, but mainly just the tree and the nature coming in to the house and the view as well. I think you'll see that theme a lot with the exterior I got. Again, you'll notice lots of windows. I'm a little worried because I read a lot and I have a lot of books, so book shelving is something I would worry about with a lot of windows, but man, I want that light. I don't care if I have to put sunscreen on 24/7 even when I'm inside my home. I need that light into my home. Again, this is more when I was thinking about building up in the woods. You can see you're surrounded by woods, you're in the forest, you've got the windows. This is a beautiful example because it's got the bookshelves, you've got the living room. I don't know if I'm going to need a TV in the living room. To me, if I have guests over, like I'm not going to want to watch TV with them. I'm going to want to have conversations and we'll be in the kitchen cooking. The only time maybe I need a bed or a TV would be in the bedroom. This to me, maybe a little too sleek and modern. I like mid-century modern. I don't like too much of the burnt orange. It's a weird thing, it goes back to sporting events and, University of Texas and Austin, they're burnt orange. So I don't really love burnt orange too much as they are rivals to the Arkansas Razorbacks. Something a little simpler, because I was thinking of a way to incorporate a porch as well. A porch is something I'd want because I don't want the first thing you step outside to be in nature. Why? It rains here. I don't want to step outside and just have rain pissing and pouring like all over me as soon as I'm walking outside or as soon as I'm walking in my home. I actually found this online from a Japanese architect and I thought this was gorgeous. I mean, it's so sleek. It's modern. I usually it's a little almost too minimalistic for me, but to me, this is something I really love, which is this extended ceiling, the porch, but glass you can see into the home, you can see out into nature. Because to me, I'm going to plant a lot of trees, I'm going to plant a lot of flowers and bushes and everything to make the landscaping look just as beautiful as the home. So I kind of want them to work simultaneously. Okay, I'm going to look like a freaking hypocrite here. This is a two-story place, but what I took away from this was the way the home and outside kind of, blend in each other, the combination of nature into the home, the beautiful glasswork, the way, maybe not a French door, but an The doors open up. I love this. If I was going to do a two-story, it'd be like this. And again, going back to Japanese, and I always get frustrated when people are like, "Oh, I traveled to Japan for 2 weeks and I got so inspired by the way they lived, and that's where I took inspiration for my home." Kind of annoying, but I'm doing the exact same day, exact same damn thing. Just so perfectly placed together. It has the outside porching area, it has the glass, it has the bookshelf. To me, that is an exterior living room combination. That is what I want. You see the greenery coming in. That's probably the best example I've seen of what I would want for an exterior into the living room. Again, I just enjoyed this because glass work, beautiful lighting, trees growing. To me, that's going to cause so many problems. I could not imagine if that tree keeps growing, what problems that's going to cause in the future. But same concept. This picture I feel like fits in more. I could see this house being planted in that location and it looking just like this. Again, this got me. I don't know if it's the garden that got me or again the way the house flows in and out from the outside to the inside. They call this mid-century. I don't really picture this much as mid-century. I guess I'm just a hypocrite. But I'm not even too sure what I love about this. It may be the detailing. I think I like all the lines from woodwork. I enjoy all the lines, the different textures that come from almost this glass. It's not quite glass, but almost looks like it's like a plexiglass. How you can see through it. They've opened the door, the lighting, the garden. I may just love the garden with this, honestly. And again, back to mid-century. I'm not a huge fan, I said, of the interior, but man, the exterior, beautiful. The way it's combined with the trees and the outside, love that. Okay, I got a few pictures of the same house. I do believe this is out in Australia. Oh my gosh, it's just so clean. Again, it just feels almost like a greenhouse. Feels like you're in a greenhouse, and that just gives me so much energy and happiness seeing the lines, whether it be the vertical ones or the perpendicular lines running up top right here. A different little angle of it, as you can see, the way they've created the little garden area oasis around it. And then just a view from the inside. And I didn't realize like it's almost like a bunch of ADUs, attached living dwelling units together, but I kind of like that concept as well of almost having your studio and you have to go outside, forces you to go outside and enjoy the weather or enjoy the bad weather, I should say, as you go somewhere else, forcing you to be outside and be connected with nature. Again, this probably is going to look very similar to the other stuffs I've sent. So yeah, exterior, lots of glass, love the woodwork. As far as roofing goes, I think I would do something with a slight slant just from the amount of rain and sometimes hail and the weather we get here in Arkansas. I don't think a flat roof would be a great idea. Okay, since we saw a lot of living room with the exterior, I think that's all we can do is go to the living room next. So, not much here. It's again pretty simple. I think you can see I love exposed beams. I grew up in a home with exposed beams, and again, just that natural wood. This is really polished and finished in this photo, but I like the contrast of this dark cherry beam with the white, which I'm surprised. There's three colors of wood going on here: the wall, the white, and then almost this dark cherry, but I think it's very nice. And it's light enough that you could still add color into the room. Sometimes when there's too much wood in a room, like it becomes almost monochrome. And I like little pops of color because I'm somebody that's like, one day I like red, one day I like blue, one day I like green, one day I like yellow. So I need little pops of color mixed in with these neutral grays and browns and cream colors. I think no surprise looking at this. Again, no beam work in this, but I always thought I wanted something like a full glass window. And I think this showed me that having that little bottom space right here where you can store things may be better because it gives me a little bit of storage, but I still get those big windows. I think this comes to no surprise. The interior design, not quite I want, even though that couch looks hella comfy. But going back to this, the windows with the wood, no beam work in this, which I'm not crazy about. I sometimes do like the brutalism with the concrete, but I have a hard time. It feels just so cold. And this is just dreams right here. I mean, you got the bookshelf, you got the wood, you got the glass. It's not going to be what my home looks like, but I find myself taking inspiration from it. I mean, who wouldn't? All right, now, most important room for me, the kitchen. I did this over a few months. I've probably changed a little bit. I have a better idea of what I want, The problem I have with so many like Pinterest boards and American design kitchens is, and this is all interior design, whether you're looking at AD Magazine or whatever, is it looks like nobody lives there. And I hate that. I want my place to look nice, but have stuff, visually abundant. I want it to look interesting. Like some of these homes are just so sterile, and that's not what I want. I don't want sterile. I'm not a sterile person. I'm clean, but I'm not sterile. Do I like pure white? No. Do I love a skylight? You betcha. How are you supposed to take aesthetic Instagrammable pictures if you don't have natural light? Again, I have to wear sunscreen 24/7, even when I'm inside. But that skylight, oh, gorgeous. I think the plants got me here. Very mid century modern. And I'm back and forth. I kind of like a window in a kitchen, and other times I don't. But the real thing I took from this, other than the plants I like having the stove on the island, which I've always thought about it on the back wall, but having an island and having the stove makes more sense for me for what I cook because I want it to be communal. And I feel like if I have people over eating with me, if you're doing hot pot or you're doing Korean barbecue or you're doing something on the stove like that, that makes more sense. Like you could just buy a little portable, gas powered stove and plop it anywhere, but something about having all those burners available, or maybe you are cooking and you're facing into people and talking to them, it just feels more communal to me. And I like that. Again, almost like an American vision of Japanese kitchen. No Japanese person is probably like looking at its kitchen and it's ideal for them because it's so much space and it's just, again, sterile. What I took away that I love from this, though, again, the island stovetop and then the woodwork. You see the wood, beautiful wood color choice, and then everything working in different ways. Just a little sections of beams, the way that lights are in between. There's just so much texture with the wood. I enjoy almost this very busy texture from the woodwork. This probably shocked a lot of y'all, but something about that marbling with that color is breathtaking. Honestly, like it is just such French, rustic. I don't know. I was not expecting to like this, but I loved this. There's so much texture again going into it. The play on the marble with the color though is just, it's just a little bit of a chef's kiss. I can't believe I love this, but the color combination alone is just like, wow. Again, I think I'm liking the deep, dark woods combined with the marble is the reason I'm picking photos like this. It's about the only thing I take away from here, and I like the stove. Again, you'll see this a lot. I'm going to sound like a broken record. The wood with the marbling. Skylight, skylight, skylight. I mean, I don't like everything about every photo, but man, taking the skylight from this, I enjoy the placement of it. Again, skylight coming in. You got the beautiful wood, open cabinets in the back. I'm a little bit where I think cabinetry gets a little boring to me. Like I want to collect ceramics and chinaware that I'm proud of and I want to put on display. So why would you have the cabinets? It's just there to cover that up. Again, marble, wood. This is probably a little too minimalistic simple, but I like the idea of the plants up here on top. So that's why I added it. This is just for the purpose of, do I like straight against the wall or do I want something it's an L where the kitchen's in a corner? Really back and forth. I really like the window here as well. I'm like, man, a window's a great idea, but I don't want to cook, especially thinking about summertime, being next to a window. Oh, it'd be so hot to cook. What I took from here is the lower, not having a designated table for eating, but just having a connected little wooden table for eating at the countertop. So again, if I'm cooking, people can sit there, they can interact, you can easily hand them food, almost like at a sushi bar. Can't even believe I enjoy this, but I think it's just that marbling with the wood that really gets me this cream. There's like buttery white. It's not really a white. It's not really a cream. It's got a little bit of a buttery light yellow tint to it that I really like. Again, got me that dark wood marble. Got me again. Let's look at the bedroom. Not much here. Bedroom, keep it simple. Definitely would like it to almost mirror the living room, but this just super warm, cozy. Not too many plants in there. Some nice windows for natural light. A little step up. I don't like a huge bed frame. I would like something more minimalistic, lower to the ground. Just really, really simple with these two photos. Nothing there much for the bedroom. But the bathroom, on the other hand, I've got to have a tub. Something about just taking the big old bath at the end of the day with a nice beer is a hell of a way to relax, especially when you've been outside working on the field or in the farm. So, again, mid century, I do like this mid century. I love this tiling. The tiling is growing on me, and I don't know if it's this super light, I don't even know what color blue I would call that beautiful light tiling. I don't like it on the floor as much just because I'm imagining cleaning it. But on the bathtub itself, I love that. I would love to have a bathtub here. You get a window in it, looking out into nature again. I'll never be able to be naked in my house. Oh wait, I live in the middle of nowhere. I'll be okay. I'm back and forth. Okay, I kind of like the wood. I kind of like the wood tubs. I'm not gonna lie. I do like the wood tubs in the Japanese style, onsen style bath where you sit down. You have the buckets. You're washing your head. No tub, but again, this color tile, the tile with the natural light leaking through, the greenery in here, bathroom dreams. The tile work. I'm surprised how much I don't like tile anywhere else, but I love the tile in the bathroom, which I I can feel. My spidey senses are tingling for how much scrubbing I'm going to have to do in the bathroom to keep it clean. Something completely different, just like the waterfall shower with the big old mirror there. This is probably going to be the nicest happy medium. You have the tub and you have like a tiny little just viewing mirror. Nothing too big, but just a little something. This is actually very similar to what I had when I lived in Vietnam. Again, the tile work. See, they got me here. They got the tile work, they got the skylight, and they got this natural, there's this deep, dark, rich wood. I mean, this photo just like, oh, got it. Got it from me. It looks steamy, looks hot, like a nice cold day. Love it. I think I was just like loving this color this month or something. I'm surprised how much of this hue and shade of color I have in my bathroom. Inspiration. Here's something a little different. That maroon though. Again, tile. You see tile. You see the theme. I'm a little more repetitive. You can see the things I'm drawn to here. I just thought this was kind of cool. I don't know how practical it is. I mean, how you getting over here to this space over here? But other than that, it's a pretty cool little space. I kind of like the difference in materials and textures from like this almost like concrete plaster to this wood to this marble here. And again, a skylight. All right. Now the half bath. Let's keep it on the bath theme. I want my half bath super moody. I'm talking, again, go back to almost like the kitchen vibe, but I want it to walk in and you're just like, it's dark. It's only going to be a toilet and a sink. I want a Japanese toilet. I want this deep, rich, dark color. I want this mood, man. Put a little couple freshly picked flowers in there. This beautiful lighting for a selfie. And I just want it to be like, oh, it feels luxurious. All right. And an office, of course. Simple. Storage, 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 storage. Definitely light coming in, but the places to put my books. Books, books, books. The places to do like some computer work because I want, of course, a studio to do art, but I want it detached from my home. Office has got to be somewhere where I can go and get on my computer. I got a place to read, and it's great light, and it just feels like I disconnect from the other things. That's a pretty good rundown of what I want. Now, do things change? Yes, I'll probably change how I feel about some things. It's just how I am. And the building process takes a while. A while. So while this is what I want my home to look like, I've had a difficult time finding an architect. Not only that, I've had time to think, which is a double no-no. Um, I'm not going to build my house first. I'm going to build a studio first. Live out of it for a few years as I save to build a home. Just because my income is so up and down, and since I've moved home, my income has gone down, I'm a little scared to take out a loan. So I would rather wait a few years, live in something smaller, more rustic, and save money. That being said, maybe I need to do a video on what I want my studio to look like because it's going to be so different from what I just showed you, which is kind of why I want them detached. Anyways, my goal is to save money for 2 or 3 years, 4 or 5, however many years it takes, and then build a home. I really don't have a need for that much space. As much as I would love to have a home like that, I don't need it. And I don't want to live outside my means. So that's why I'm going to opt for building a studio first. And that's the goal. It's probably going to start hopefully within the next couple weeks as well. But for the future, that's definitely what I want. Appreciate y'all. It was a big yapping video, but I appreciate y'all letting me yap and show you what I like. And I will catch y'all at the next one.